The body of Jake Ella has just been loaded into the hearse. You can see it pulling away right here from the Castalia Cemetery just outside of Sandusky. This body exhumed for a second time so that the Sandusky coroner can finally perform an autopsy on it more than a year after this 19-year-old man died. He was shot in the head at a home in Clyde in March of 2012. At the time, the coroner ruled it a suicide without performing an autopsy. Parents say a detective was never called to the scene, that basically the police who were there and the coroner relied on the eyewitness accounts. There was a gun that Jake had gone to this home in Clyde to sell, that each of the three people there had fired off a shot in the backyard, a test shot, and they'd gone in the house and they started drinking. Jake at some point, they said, held up the gun to his head, and whether he knew there was a bullet in the chamber or not, pulled the trigger, and he died. The family, 6 months ago, had their own autopsy performed by world-renowned pathologist Dr. Cyril Wecht. Cyril Wecht found that it was impossible. Jacob killed himself. His feeling was that someone else had done this, whether it was by accident or on purpose. Again, now this body being taken to the coroner's office. The family had been out here earlier this morning to protest, Father kneeling on the grave as everyone stood around praying and hoping that this peaceful protest would stop the Sandusky coroner's office from deciding to exhume the body. That process has continued. That body now on its way to the coroner's office for a second autopsy. This family opposed to that, not only because it's so difficult to watch this body dug up out of the ground for a second time, but also because the tissue from around the head wound has already been removed during their investigation. Dr. Wecht removed that tissue, preserved it, provided it to the coroner's office to take care of, to do their own investigating, and thus they say it wasn't necessary for this whole process. We'll continue to follow it for you, and we'll have reaction from the family who was here while this all was happening.